What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2025 Toyota Corolla SE. This one is finished in ice cap with an MSRP at $27,500. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this car for today's video. Check out their website, link down below. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Toyota Corolla, you're going to find a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine. It pumps out 169 horsepower with 151 pound-feet of torque. This is front-wheel drive with a continuous variable with dynamic shift transmission. It runs on a 13.2 gallon fuel tank. Curb weight is 3,150 pounds, and you're expecting 31 mpg in the city with 40 out on the highway. The overall length is 182.5 inches with a wheelbase at 106.3. Width is 70.1 and height is 56.5 inches. Ground clearance is also 5.3 inches. Moving on to the styling with the 2025 Toyota Corolla Sedan. This is a pretty sporty looking car. Actually looks pretty similar to the GR Corolla up front. My favorite feature is these awesome headlights. They have a massive daytime running light in them, as you can tell, and then you have a nice blacked out housing with the LED headlight itself. Super sharp looking, and I like how that upper gloss grille kind of connects them. Down below, we have a massive grille opening with some cool looking mesh, all in this dark gray color, giving it a really aggressive and wide appearance. You can see just how large the opening is to provide tons of cooling to the engine. Small splitter in the farthest corners, and then a couple little trim pieces in the center just to give it a little bit extra style. And then there's just 2 sharp body lines on the hood fading towards the windshield. As we make our way around the side, you can see more of a sharp line in the front bumper on the side portion, and a nice set of 18-inch wheels. Got a gunmetal gray multi-spoke design, sharp body line cutting through the whole side profile, and then a nice gloss color on the lower side skirt. We have body color door handles and mirror caps, integrated turn signal on the side as well, and then all black trim throughout all these windows. You're also going to get a pretty nice side profile with a nice front and rear overhang, giving it a super proportional look. I think overall it's a pretty good looking compact sedan. The roof line slopes into the trunk, and you can also see the shark fin antenna with a small body colored spoiler finishing in the back. You can see these red taillights with halogen bulbs, and then they are connected by a black bar, just giving it a little bit of a modern appearance for an economy car. Got your SE badge down below in red, Toyota logo in the center, and then the Corolla name. On the farthest points, you're going to see a little bit of a wider appearance in the rear bumper. You got a reflector down here and a nice gloss black rear diffuser with some sharp fins all throughout it. You're also going to get 2 exhaust tips over on this passenger side. So finishing it up, I think it has a really good sporty looking compact design, giving the Corolla a nice look. Moving on to the key, you're just going to get lock, unlock, and the trunk release. If I go ahead and lock the car, it still has the smart key function, so you can just grab the door handle, it will automatically unlock, and we can take a look at the gray fabric interior. You're also going to get this nice white color soft touch plastic throughout the interior, especially for this color on the exterior. It matches really well, which is pretty neat to see. So we got a Stormtrooper vibe on here, got the soft touch black material with red contrast stitching, a little bit of silver trim for this grab handle, and you can see your lock and unlock, window controls, storage down below. Got your trunk release and fuel cap down below, and then you're going to see just manual controls. You can pump this up and down as well as the recline lever. You have this gray fabric material with a little bit of striping and contrast coloring to it throughout the rest of the seat, and then I like that nice stripe up above. Spinning around, you're going to get a black leather wrapped steering wheel with some black stitching and silver trim. And then now inside the 2025 Toyota Corolla Sedan, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You're going to get that Toyota badge right in the center, some Bluetooth and audio controls over on the left side, along with an icon to adjust the screen. On the right side, you're going to get all the cruise control settings. You even have forward pacing as well as lane keeping. Taking a look at the gauge cluster, very simple with the analog tach as well as the speedometer. However, we can scroll up and down through the center screen for a digital readout. You have some eco information, safety information as well, audio controls, and then a few more things are going to pop up. So not bad for being this is a more basic vehicle economy car. On the far right side, you are going to get the stock for the windshield wipers, turn signal and headlights over on the left, and then down below all that we just have automatic high beams, and you can adjust your interior dimming. You're going to see one of your air vents, and then just a plastic material for the dashboard. It does have a soft touch to it, same with this dashboard color, this cool white You can see the faux stitching design and then the screen in the center, basically what you're used to on every single Toyota. You will get Apple CarPlay on here as well. That will pop up like any other Apple CarPlay. You have some history and information for all the trip in the vehicle alerts if anything, and then settings are going to pop up as well to adjust all sorts of different things within the car. If I go ahead and pop it into reverse, you're going to get that backup camera popping up with just the single view. Nice HD graphics though. Back into park. You got your 2 air vents, and then physical climate controls laid out right in the center. We have our temperature over on the left side, fan speed on the right, different zones, recirc, AC, turn it off, and then our defrosters. There is going to be some extra storage all down below, even with a USB-C, and then we have traction control and drive modes. So if I toggle this, you're going to see it pop up with Eco, Normal, as well as a Sport mode. You can see your different drive selects down below with our shifter, got a small shift boot on it, auto hold, park and brake, and then storage throughout the center for cups or cell phones. Got a little bit of gloss black and then more of this red stitching and this vinyl material, and then just a small area in here with a few plugs. Glove box on the far right side, as you would expect, pretty nice opening. And then one last look at the interior. Nothing really changed from 2024, however, the 25 definitely gives you a pretty decent interior for the money. Got this nice basic fabric seating, black headliner with some dome lights, all those dome lights up above for the front, and then a basic manual mirror. Moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, door panel's finished off just like we saw up front. You get that cool white material up above with the red stitching and this padded vinyl for your armrest. You're going to see the same fabric back here as well with the gray and then the striping throughout the center, even up towards that headrest. This can seat 3 people back here, and the center you can even pull down, and you do get 2 armrests as well as a cup holder. You're going to have 2 USB-C ports in the center, and then that is about it for any of the amenities. So hopping into the back seat with the Toyota Corolla Sedan. So I'm 5'11" sitting back here. To be honest, I actually have some headroom, about maybe a ½ inch or so. My head's not touching, neither is my hair. With the driver's seat at my height, I still have a couple inches of legroom and knee room. Armrests are in a pretty good place, and the seat itself isn't too bad. I mean, this is an inexpensive economy car, so obviously it won't be the greatest back seat, but you could genuinely fit 4 people in this car. Middle person might be a little tight, and you could probably even do a car seat or so. So not the worst. I wouldn't mind some amenities like air vents and extra storage. These windows, they feel definitely on the low side. My eye level is more up to this black area. So it's a compact car, but nonetheless, it's actually pretty useful. Moving on to the cargo space, you're going to get a button underneath the Toyota badge. We can manually pop the trunk open. You have a pretty squared off design on the interior. It's actually a pretty roomy trunk for being a compact. And if you pull up the floor just a little bit, you can grab this handle, and you are going to get a spare tire with all the equipment down below. And then pressing the button by the headrest, we can manually fold down those rear seats for a larger opening into the cabin space. Taking a look inside, they do fold down nice and flat, giving you a pretty good amount of storage space to make the Corolla a pretty useful compact car for items and people. All right, so setting off now in the 2025 Toyota Corolla. So I'm just in the Eco drive mode. You can go down into the B right here. That'll kind of let you engine brake more, give you more resistance, kind of like a low range. So if you do leave it in that, it will be kind of peppy and get pretty high in the revs, but we'll just do a slow acceleration. Let's just bump it right to normal mode, or actually let's go right into sport and test out this economy car up to 35. So not trying to even floor it, it definitely revs a lot. There's not a lot of power in this car, so it does seem to definitely use a lot of the engine. And that's kind of regardless of the drive mode. So once you're up to speed, it's a pretty normal car to drive. I will say, seems like it works a lot to get up to speed. It's not that quick. Of course, you can get a hybrid version which will have a lot better power delivery. So this is not exactly anything peppy or quick. It's going to use a lot of that engine to get you moving. When you are driving, one thing I'm noticing first, the steering has no feedback. It is insanely light, which does make it very easy to drive. You know, anybody's going to be able to hop in this car and drive very nicely. One thing I'm noticing, there's a lot of glare, mainly because just like the texture of that plastic gives you kind of a weird design up on that windshield. Maybe it comes off on camera, but also this might have some of that shiny stuff on it, so you want to clean that off, of course. But ride quality's fine. You are feeling the bumps for sure. It's not exactly a refined car. The seats though are pretty comfortable to where I do fit nicely. Armrests are in a good place. Good visibility overall. The mirrors all do a good job. And even though those headrests are fixed, you don't really have any crazy blind spots or anything looking over your rear. But not a bad place to be. Everything's simple to use. It's just a simple point A to point B kind of car, I would say. The brakes do a good job. I would say my only complaints with the driving are the fact that the steering is so light, it doesn't feel like it's connected to anything, kind of like some electric cars to where the steering wheel isn't connected. So it just kind of is, you're just turning a wheel, turning the car, which again, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But let's get back up to some speed in normal mode. Yeah, so it's really sluggish, and then when you give it like half throttle, it like shoots up the revs. So not a refined drive, I would say. Kind of just very economy car feeling, very basic. So it's an alright driving car, I would say. I wouldn't say this is the best driving economy car. Personally, I think the Honda Civic drives a lot better. So that is definitely going to be up for debate if you want to buy the Corolla or the Honda Civic, which are probably the two best in this class. Hyundai's Elantra is pretty good as well, and maybe even the Nissan Sentra. This is a huge class. There's a lot of cars in this. This is a fine to drive car, I would say. I would say that's probably the best way to describe the Corolla. It's fine. It does the job. It's going to be very, very reliable. And you know, if you're not flooring it more than half throttle, I mean, that was a nice, easy acceleration without really stressing the engine. And then overall ride quality, once again, on more of a bad road, you know, you hear the little bumps and things, but there's no wind noise or anything like that. All right, so setting off now with my honest thoughts with the 2025 Toyota Corolla. I think it's a fine car. You know, this is a super competitive class. I mean, the basic economy cars everyone makes. Price point's not too bad. I think my only complaint, just it's really not quick. You gotta floor it, you gotta use the whole engine. So to me, you know, I like something a lot more peppy. I'd probably go for the hybrid just to get that extra power out of it without just stressing the engine and redlining all the time. I think to me that's just a little bit better balance of a car. But, you know, for the average person who's just looking for basic transportation, the Corolla is kind of a hard car to argue with, mainly because we know it's reliable. You'll hit several 100,000 miles and it's just going to be a solid to own, easy to own car. And honestly, it is pretty comfortable. Like, I'm sitting here comfortably. There's a lot of compact cars like this that just don't have the space to where my knees will be cramped. You know, this, I'm in a good seating position to where my legs are stretched out nicely. They're not just bent in an awkward, uncomfortable position. So the fact that this is a comfortable car, I think, goes a long way. The Honda Civic is a really good competitor. You know, these are probably the two best options in the class for reliability and resale and just kind of what they offer for under $30,000. So I would say it's not a bad option. Just if you're like into cars, you know, we're on the enthusiast level, this is definitely not going to be the car for you. There are other options out there that are going to be more sporty to drive and give you more feedback. This is a very, very basic car. There's no engagement level to the car. You're just driving it and it's just driving. So it's a simple, easy, normal car, but it has the technology that you're gonna need without all the extra stuff, you know. You can do the Apple CarPlay. To me, honestly, that's all I use in my cars. I don't need all the modern stuff that all these modern cars have. So it just kind of comes with the territory when you buy the fancier, more performance-focused cars. You get all the extra tech that honestly I couldn't care less about. So this is simple and easy, but you got what you need with your CarPlay and just the basic stuff that it's going to have. So I like that aspect to it. You know, it's not going to break the bank. It's going to be very economical to own and run, good efficiency and everything like that. And also, not only is it comfortable, it's pretty quiet and smooth. Like, the suspension absorbs the bumps decently. You can feel the little bumps here and there, but nothing about it is backbreaking or anything like that. Now, as far as the drive modes, I wouldn't say they really do all too much, really just dials in throttle response. So eco mode to me feels a little on the sluggish side just because you really gotta floor it. And then once you do it, red lines. Sport mode, you know, will help you out if you're driving maybe in the mountains or something. And then the B, kind of that low range, is great for if you know, maybe are in a really steep hill or something and you need that extra power and that higher RPM. It's gonna get the job done if you like just a basic normal car. This is one of your options. I think the Civic is a strong contender. I might like that driving a little bit better than this, to be quite honest. So Civic is a good option as well. Hyundai and Nissan have good options too. But there is a full look at the 2025 Toyota Corolla. Not really anything crazy new in this. One thing I do like, when you grab the door handle, it unlocks all 4 doors, which some more expensive cars don't even let you do that. So that is a nice touch, that there is some basic good technology in this car to make it just super user-friendly. So if you're looking for a user-friendly car, this is a way to go. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for plenty more content. And a big shout out once again to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this Corolla for today's video. Check out their website, linked down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.